Okay, so this is gonna be the part 4 of the Truthful Beginning video. If you haven't watched the other videos, look for them in the description below. And yeah, so last time we worked on this profile image, right? So the whole plan with this is make it similar to Instagram like this. When I stopped the video, this was blanked, right? We create right here. So basically we created this collection view with a header and a bunch of different cells, right? Now for homework, you're supposed to add at least, I'll tell you to play with this a little bit, add that profile image and at least the name. Like, this look blank right here because nothing, we haven't done any back-end work or added anything. But if you come here, you'll see this and that. So at least you should have it this. It shouldn't be there, it could be in the middle, anywhere, but as long as you did something, it would be great. Otherwise, you're gonna have to follow along, which is very easy, because to work on the header of the collection view, it's just like the same thing as we did here for the table view. So if you've been following and you know how the contact cell works, you have an avatar image, username, you add a constraints and you play around with it, then you set it to the contact other information. So it's basically the same thing to do it here. You see here, you can name this whatever you want, but because this is the username, this is the username, this is the profile image, I decided to call it like that. You could be like profile avatar, or you could be profile name label, whatever you want to name it. This property, you can name it whatever you want, or this, it's up to you because it depends on whatever you're working on. So, alrighty, let's begin. So if I run my application, I should have this. If you didn't have any homework, I'll go through the code real quick. And yeah, so when you tap here, it should be like this because we're not passing anything. And if you know, when we do select any of this name, it'll pass the avatar image, it'll pass a contact object, which is right here, which is something we created, right? A contact with a name and an avatar image. So whenever you pass this, it'll say the name to this, it'll say the avatar image right here. You see, contact avatar image and username. So now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create these buttons. But before, you see, this is how I added that constraint. I set the image to 100 width, 100 height, and corner radius to 50, so it could be rounded. I added the layer border width, width of 1, with color of purple, and content mode scale aspect to fit, so the image looks good. Depends what image you have. You could, like I said, you could play around with fill and other aspect that they have to see what works properly for your image. Let me give you an example, right? And always remember clips to bounce, so it could redraw the image. Because check this, sometimes like you do like, okay, I'm changing this, but it's not making any changes. Look at my image, it's gonna look a little, you see how it looks a little weird, and they all look like, you see the square but the circle. But if you like click to bounce, it kind of redraw the image and it becomes circular. If you want a circular, if you want a square, or you want to play around, only you could play around a little bit with the borders, with the corner radius, which is just the corners of the image, right? Like if it's square, when you, and then you wanna, like if you put 10% here, or 10%, you'll see like how the corner will change a little bit. So you could play around with that. You see how it kind of looks like this if you want to have it like this. But I prefer a circle. And always remember, if you want your image to be circle, this and this two, they need to be the same height. It could be 80, it could be 20, it could be 100, it could be 300, right? The both width and height needs to be the same size. And then the corner radius is the half of this. If I do 45, it's gonna look a little weird, like kind of rounded, but not 100%. So let's get started. Now we're going to create this. And here I'm going to use a stack view, So we're gonna place 3 labels, right, with the poles and amounts, and I'm only going to help you out with 1, and then I'm gonna put the 3 of them, right? But to make it like this, like the numbers on top and the title at the bottom, I'm gonna only to create one, and I'm gonna leave you as homework to create the other one, which will be pretty easy. If you're following along, then we already have the name, but then we added like a description label, and then we going to add an edit button. And yep, I think we're gonna leave it there, or maybe we could add a collection view at the bottom, that one, but not yet. But maybe we'll leave it here though, and then we could go through this, or we could do this later on, so we could switch to other things. Because this is just a collection view inside here. Like here, you could just declare collection view and make it, and then add the constraints to be at the bottom of the button, and then to scroll horizontally, and that's it. And it's gonna have a title. You know, collection view with an image with a title. Okay, so let's okay, let's create post label. Post label. And here I'm gonna create one. Then let me see. Let label. Call UI label. Okay, let's say the number of lines to 0. Basically, when we set a number of lines to 0, is to help out that if it the text doesn't fit vertically completely, it'll break into a new line. Like if I put like 2 lines or 3 lines, it'll be a little laggy. This is good when you wanna set X amount of lines for X amount of words or sentence. You could check right here the maximum number of lines for the rendering text. You see, you could read all this and take into the bounded rectangle, blah 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 blah. To remove any maximum limit, use any line as needed. Boom. Because sometimes, like if you don't have 0, you'll put like, you'll have the text right, but if the space vertically too, it's like it's not too big. It's like and I mean, if it's really big, you'll put one here and then the one like right here, and you won't be able to see it. So same thing, like if it's some horizontal, right, you put like one right here and then the other one right here. But when you put 0 line, it kind of breaks one on top of the other. Then blam blam blam. Okay, so we have one post label, and we want, okay, I'm gonna copy and paste. You better write this. I already know what I'm doing, but I mean, if you want to practice, copy and paste it for you is not too good. Following label. And plus I'm doing it for saving some time in the video. Then here, let's stack view, right, equal UI stack view. Well, so basically this is what it says it is, right? This is stack view. Stack view is just like look, it's a collection view, right? Laying out a collection view here in column or row. This you could do it, I mean, manually. Like, okay, you could put like the constraints for the post, the constraints then for the followers, and the constraint for the following, which is, it'll be like doing this. No, okay. No, it could be, yeah, you're gonna have something similar. Let me see now. Okay, let's do this, yeah. It's basically doing this 3 times, right? Dun, dun, dun. 3 code, but right, then when you add this gonna give you like bam, bang, bang, bang. And if you see, like, some things are repetitive and you don't want that. So with a stack, we could use constraints just for a stack view. And what this is saying, if you see a square of views, right, so we can use your open close square. That means take an array of views, right? It takes an array, because whenever you see the 2 square and anything inside, could be views, it could be buttons, it could be anything. A button is a view, it's a subclass of a view. A UI label, a UI text field, which we'll be talking about later on, and other things, it'll be part of view. So you could take advantage of that here and be like post label, right? Post label, let's add post label, followers label, and following label, right? So we have this, and then we like stack the axis, right, equal to horizontal, because we could have a stack of view like vertically, like, but we want this to be horizontal, right? So could do that. Could be also stack the distribution dot equal spacing, right? And let's say as sub view stack view dot center y, right? The constraints. Why I want to use center y, because this is kind of in the center of the image view, so I want to view like profile image the center y. Let's play with this, otherwise I could use top or it's active equal truth. And I almost forgot, stack view dot translate auto resize mask equal to false, because if it's not, it won't work. Then stack view dot leading dot constraint, I want it to the profile image dot trailing, with a constant of 12. So basically what I'm doing here, as I explained before, I think it's gonna be like a constant of 24. The space, like I'm putting 12, like the space from here to there, because I'm attaching the stack view to the right of this image. And then let's see what happens. Okay, now let's add some let's add some text. Label dot text equal to post. I'm gonna change this following. Take your time and write things so you'll kind of become part of your nervous system, and you know, okay, you see, post this and that. Let me put a capital P so it'll look good. Like I said, the spacing there is a little, ooh, right? So let's give her what, 24. Let's give it 36 and see what happens. Oh, let me check something real quick. Center X. Let's see how this goes. Let me see. Oh, my head. Nope. So I mean, we could do center X and then we could add constant 2 to this. But let's go with what I was doing earlier. Let's do a 36 and see what happens. Trailing. Or, okay, I have another solution. You see, you gotta play with the constraints until you get the results that you want. So if I do this, I mean, 36 kind of looks really good. I mean, the spacing here between here and there. I mean, this is 12, this is 36, and probably this is 48. I mean, it kind of looks alright, right? I think the spacing in between is good. I mean, you could even good thing about the stack view, you could play some with spacing, like stack view dot spacing equal to like 20. Let's see what happens. But because it's equal spacing, let me see. Yeah. Okay, see, it give you equal spacing, so it give you 20, 20. If we wanna do that, and then yeah, whatever. If you wanna play with the spacing, do it. I mean, I could just start playing and try to set it more perfectly, but I'll leave that up to you, so you could set it as you want. Now you're probably thinking, how can I add the number on top and the post bottom and la. So let's do this. Oh, look at this, I left this. Oh yeah, because I said that I was going to do one and I was going to leave the other one. So let me do post label. Okay, so what are we doing here? I'm explaining. We created this. I created this attribute, right? This is the attribute, and a stream attribute. Right? A stream with associated attributes such as visual, style, hyperlink, accessible data, portion of the text, blah blah blah. You could read all that, so you could learn. So basically, when we have an attribute stream, it's something that we could manipulate. Basically, we could play around with it. Like even if I want with attribute string, you could just like put like S one color, H another color, and blah blah blah, and la la la. Let me see. Google. Let me see if I find an example. Let me see. Come on. Attributed string color Swift. So we go, let's see, changing specific, okay, Stack Overflow, right? Because here you could look and, but let me see, oh, this one, oh, you see like there's different things. I think there's one that I saw before in the past. No, let me see, oh. This is Objective C. Oh, okay, this is Swift. But you could see a lot of reference here, how you could change a lot of things like hello world. But I'm trying to see, okay, change. Attributed label, let me see. Could be attributed string, but attributed label. Okay, no, what is this? This is the same one, right? Oh no, look at this one. There you go. You see here, what they do when they have the attribute string and they're changing the color. You see how this is a little different, because that's why I say always like don't copy the code and paste it, but understand it. Like you say UI color, and now it's just like dot red. That's it. But before, because this is like Swift 2 or 3, I think it's 2. You have like colors, like red colors, and that, and this is different too, because now it's like foreground dot attribute name key, blah blah blah. You see like, okay, this is a different version, this is like the new version, see, and it attribute string key, the foreground key, and color red, see. So if you want to play around with this, you could. I mean, if you want to understand it more, change the color, you could use like this, like use multiple. In Google, if you search this, use multiple font color in a single label, you probably get to this one right here. But like I said, don't copy and paste. Even though like it was a great example the other day, I told you don't copy and paste, but I want to make it quick. So I copy and paste it, and it gave me an error. Then I had to figure it out. It took me a while. Same thing. Because like sometimes you copy and paste, like I copy and paste. I'm sorry. And I know what this is doing. I know exactly. Just like the syntax, you're not always going to remember the syntax because so many things, but you have an idea. Sometimes something comes to you, boom, and automatic. Something that you don't use that often doesn't come to you, but like if you understand what it is, like I could look at the code, I was like, okay, what is it doing here? Okay, this is declaring an mutable string with a string or str, right? Str could be like it could be inside quotes, but they already have declared a property str, which is str for string. So a lot of time in code, if you see like whatever str is a string, which they send to the font of Georgia in the size of 18, in the range of the second location and the fourth location, which is being this location, right? From here to there, there's the range where it's changing one color to red. You see right here, red, right? So from location, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. This is how it's changing, right? So then it changes to green, which is another text that they change it to whatever string they put here, and you could add something here like drive safe and blah blah blah. Look at this one right here, right? Look at stack, right? The string values is Stack Overflow, but this send the text color to the stack, to this part, right? If you see here, the color is to black, over is orange, and flow is red. And you can see here another great example. So that's gonna be homework for you. And yeah, so what I'm doing here, post label, right? This post label attributed. So we're gonna put like 34, and about on the we could put post. And this I added like this, but I'm gonna open it. Right, you could do that. This is a great example, or you could put like review the string 2 equal to this way, and you could append it to this as well. So in a lot of places you'll see that. I just copy this and put it here, which is the same thing to be faster, but if you wanna play around with this, you could. So if I come here, let's see what happened to post. You see 133, because you see here system sign of bold red. I could put like yeah, let's put attribute now. Let's put attribute 1, and I could put blank. Oh shoot. Alright, so basically here I'm creating an attribute, right? An attribute string with the font of that. With this is the font bold, right? You could try like if you try system, like it could be like UI font system of size, system of font width. I use this one a lot. What we're using 18, and that could be like that bold. Basically, you do that, or you could use that one that I was using. An error because I put 1. And if you don't want to change the font, right? Look at how it looks. And if you don't want to change the font or the bottom one, you could use an string attribute string. But if you want to manipulate the font of the bottom too, just create like another NS mutable string. So you could be like yeah, let me copy this, right? And I'm probably like, come on, I'm going to comma this, put 2. And another thing, like you see this little back forward slash, like this one, or whatever it's called, in the end. In programming, this means a new line, which I'm saying like, hey, break this line, go to the bottom of this. So here I could just put post, right? Let's see what happened without the new line. I think it should work literally. But now both fonts are going to be bold, right? But you see one next to the other one. But when we add the new line, boom, it comes to the bottom. Now why are both bold? Because both are using the attributed font. Put attributed font 1. So it could be here. Same thing if you wanna copy this. I'm gonna go for the second one. Right, it could be like this. I mean, don't copy. I mean, if you wanna write it, but I can copy and paste it just to show you an example to save the time, because I have to be like, okay, and it's attributed string, and then key, and then font, and then foreground, whatever, key, foreground color, blah blah blah, and I go there, right? But I'll do this. I pull a bold, which is normal. What is it? It's like it has black, regular. Forgot. So you could try different heavy font, like fonts. Heavy could be like a regular, bold. Black is just like more bold. Light, medium, semi thing, whatever. Let me use regular for the follower. So basically, right? If you don't want to mess around with the fonts, you could just do this, right? And a string. And then you put it, boom, and then this append means append it, like add it to the next to the line, right? So basically, what is an attribute string? Like basically this attribute string, right? This one, append attribute string 2, right? This one, which is post, and this, right? Or it could be this one. Say, hey, 1134, right? Which is the attribute string. Append to the end, which is to the end of the text. This one, so add to the end this post. So if you see, I think they'll give you a description, add a character and attribute given, attribute string to the end of the receiver. There you go. voila. So basically you could do this. I'm thinking if I should leave you a little homework with a helper function, or it's too advanced. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, you could do this. I mean, whatever you want to use. You could, like, if you want, like, copy and paste this, right? Don't see. But if you remember something about programming, I told you copy and pasting. Not copy and paste. I just have like the exact same code 3 times. Very tedious, and it's like stupid. And that programmers, we are lazy, and to like a lot of duplication could create bugs and blah blah blah. So all engineers, we are lazy. We know that. So we will try to figure out a way, and I'm gonna help you out with this. Let me see how it comes along. Learn this, because I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing it again or giving you homework. Where do I want this function? To create this function, let me see. Okay, sorry. Fun custom attributed text, right? And it's going to take a parameter. What we do now, we take in, let's say text 1, take a string, and text 2. Oh, text 2, right? Takes a string. So what we're doing here, we are creating a function just like we did before, and we say, hey, this function, you gotta take 2 strings, which go into be text 1 and text 2, right? So, and let me see, I did attribute text, which return NS attribute a string, right? So, which is, I wanted to see if it's an optional, which it is, and I'm gonna, okay, want to return NS attribute a string, optional. Like, if you take a look at this, right here, it's a get function, but right, and this is what it returns, and this is screaming because it doesn't have a return. Same thing like if I do like post label dot attributed text, you see right here, attribute a string. This is what it gets, and it's optional. So I'm going to create this function to be optional, and then now I'm going to copy. Yeah, I'm going to copy this, put it here, remove this, and put a return. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is stop screaming already, which is great. And why I cannot find font 1 is, oh, I missed the font. That's why. And scope. Okay, we could do that, and then we could do. Then it's gonna be a homework to add this to each one of them, but just put font. Like, even if we want, we could let's name it font. We could pass in the font in way we want to customize it more and more. And then now, because we don't want this hard coded, we want to use this to set this to text 1, right? So if you do that backslash and then you open close parentheses, not parentheses, this little thing, whatever, like this. It's not parentheses, no curly bracket. Yeah, it's parentheses. I keep confusing parentheses with curly brackets. Then here too, you will like close backslash whatever, open close parenthesis, and then you put text 2. Make sure that it's like this, right? Make sure the new line's outside of it, because if you put it here like this, it'll just be like thinking about the text, gonna give you an error. So make sure that you put this backslash whatever it is, and then open and close parenthesis, and whatever I put this call a string, you say concatenation, something like that. Now what we could do with this, we could delete it, boom, and now, and then delete this, be like, hey, look, check this out, custom string, right? So text 1, what do we want for this? We want to call the name, the number, which was like 1134, and for text to post. See, and you only have to do this once. Let's see what happens. Hey, it looks exactly the same. So I mean, we could like write this post, we could delete it, we could delete followers. Let me copy this one. No, you did it, lazy. And we're gonna do the same thing. Now we could be like followers dot attributed text equal to custom text, and then number of followers. What did it say? 3839, and then boom. And then I'm copying this space. Try to write it yourself. Oh, this is following, right? So following 756. Following, and this should be followers. Let's see what happens. Look at this. Doesn't this look great? Boom, 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 right? So you see how cleaner it is? Like, only look at this instead of having the mess that we had earlier and then having to write one code once. That's what I was saying before when I worked on the main tab bar, that I said, hey, I created this helper function so you could use it here for this, for that, instead of just like having to write all this code for this Wii controller, for this one and for that one, and it goes on and on and on. So that's why whenever you're using a code more than once, try to create a helper function. If you can, it'll be very helpful, trust me. So we're right here, let me see something. Text alignment. Let's see if it is going to align the text. I don't remember if you have to like do it in here or now. I think, yeah, I think you have to do. Let me see. So let me see if it could. If it's not, no, I'm going to go crazy. Attribute it. Trying the alignment or something. Okay, let me see. I know. Replace character. Oh yeah, I'll have to use a paragraph style, which should take a little Hey, yeah, I'm gonna do this some more of the time. I don't want to spend more time on that. I spent a lot of time on that. So basically, if you go from here to there, you get the name, you get all this. So yeah, let's add like a paragraph, like a description on the bottom here, and then I'll add a button. So let me try to go fast to this. So let me put it, I'm gonna copy and paste this. So basically you create another one with like this description label. Right, and I'm gonna just like label the text. YouTube tutorial for a beginner. So I want to have this under the, let me try to add sub view, and then it could be like blah 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 blah. What is it? Description. The top anchor those equal to username label the bottom. Though is active equal to truth. Because I see there's no spacing, I'm not going to add any spacing. Label the leading anchor. Username the leading anchor. Active equal to truth. So basically what I'm doing here, I'm just setting the description label to the top to the bottom of the username label, and the left side, leading side to the, you see it right here. Boom, boom, boom. You know, if I want, I could if I add a width, you'll set it, let's say description label the width anchor the constraint equal to frame the width divided by 2. No, let's put divided by 0.8. So basically what I'm doing here, I'm taking the frame of this view, right? If it was on a view controller, it would be like view the frame, but because it's inside a cell, it's like frame the width divided by 0.8. So if I divide it by 1, it will be like, it'll give you the same size. If any number you divide by 1. No, I mean, I have to multiply, right? Times, sorry, I was thinking of divided because I was gonna divide it by 2, but multiplying, right? But if I multiply by 1 times 1, they'll be the same size. But if I multiply by less than 1, it'll give me like a smaller size. Let's see what happens. And yep, this is active equal to truth. Okay, this is that, right? But I can add more. Okay, oh, I have later, but this alignment could be left, and let's add a blah blah blah. No. Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't do that. Even I'm just testing. Might be not professional, but you probably do the same thing. So sorry. You see how it went up to like just like this one, like it went to up to a place, right? Boom, like, and then that's it. You could do that, or just by looking at this, you could put to the probably no, yeah, that's fine. Put that of 7, or you could divide to like divided by 2, or you could just add a number like a hard code, a number, and whatever. Up to you, whatever you want to do, You see, boom, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. And then I'll be like, for beginner, if you are learning, please like and subscribe. Ding. You see now. Yeah, I'm gonna change the color. Put a color to system gray. You go, boom, boom. Then now, let's add a button. We haven't worked with buttons yet, so. One thing too, like if this is, you see a lot, it's very like big and stuff. You could also do this. Yeah, let's do this for 1. And yeah, I'll delete all this. Oh, I'll delete that as well. So if you want to have like all those 3 of that, but then you gotta come like here and be like following, oh no, following, come on. Oh, label, missing the L. Come on, guys, you didn't tell me. Oh, just the, nah, I deleted it now, the L, that's why. There we go. If you see here, it is different from that. So if you want to do that, you could do it for each of them. Just do it like this, because we're not using it right. Like here, we have a bunch of different properties, but here, like we create, I think, extra lines. So it's up to you. So let you know this is a different way, like this, a different way how to do it, and I'm probably gonna show you a couple of the things how to do later on. You see, still working. Boom, boom. And yeah, let's create the button. Let's create the following button, UI button. Button equal UI button, open the seal of type, the system. I mean, you could have it like this, like no problem. But when you have it up type system like this, it kind of like when you tap on it, you see like it kind of goes kind of grays a little bit, you know, so it's cool. Button. So basically here we are creating a button, the button dot translate equal to false. Button dot set title. For title, let's say follow. Dot normal. For state, this means like it's the title for the state when it's normal. And then button dot layer dot butter color equal UI color the we put this thing gray, and then button the layer the butter width equal to 1, and see it's screaming. You know why it's screaming? Could hear fix, but if you know why it's screaming, is because it cannot compare a type of button to a specific button, enable and refer complex. If I click fix, it's gonna give me that. I don't want that, but I want this right here. Boom. So now what do we want? As of view, following button, right? The following button, the top anchor, the constraint equal to description, the bottom anchor, let's give it one space, constant of 6, does active equal to truth. So if you see, like, all this becomes very repetitive. So you see, you just following, then let's put height, and the height of constraint, height to a constant of what is it, 30? Yeah, I should give it a 30 and see. You could put whatever number you like to kind of match this, and then put in the, I think, center X. Or I could put like, okay, no, let's do it different. Like with anchor, the constraint, we're gonna put this right equal to. We're not gonna give equal to a constant, because here we wanted to give it like a raw value, but here I wanna be like with anchor, right? To constant minus, let's see, it could be 12, let's say, okay, minus 24. Does active equal to truth. So basically what we're doing here, we're just setting the width anchor to the width, right, to the size of the frame of the view, but then we are subtracting 24, so we could try to have this little space. Let's see what happens. Boom, we have this, but you see it's to the left, and then here is a great sample when you could be like following and the center X, the constraint, center X, does active equal to truth. Hey, and also the side, kind of, yeah, let's give it a 50, maybe a 50. If you put 40 or 35, you maybe got it right, I don't know. You put it here and say, oh, 50 is mad big. Put 40. Okay, 40, but you see that's here because I 12 minus 24 is like 12 from here, I 12 from here. And from the top 6, I think we could give it a 12. I think it's more space, right? Let's see what happened. You see when I press it, kind of follows the system side. If you come here to be like, if you wanna put more space in there, you could. If you wanna have more space from there, you could. If you put 36, it would be like 18 and 18. If you put 48, it would be like 48 minus 48. gonna be 24 from this side, 24 from that side. So you do a lot of math when you're a programmer. So you see, good. I mean, looks better. So let's okay. Button the things title label dot font equal UI font the right. System of font with width. We'll put 16 and it's bold. And then let's put like button the title the set. Come on. Set title color right here, right? Be like black or black. You could put UI for stay normal, or you could put UI color the black. Up to you. By now you should know. This looking good. So when you come here, it's like it looks really good. And then you see we can have the space here to add that collection view. To add a collection view right there. Scroll aside. Then have this to right here. And it's not bad. It's actually really good. So okay, your homework, because I helped you out a bunch with the homework. It was supposed to be at the beginning. Center this, so you could go to Google and type on Google search how to center attribute a string in Swift, right? How to center attribute a string in Swift. Find the solution and just comment if you did. Like if you found the solution, just leave a comment. And yeah, I hope you do. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow. Subscribe and follow, same thing. Don't forget to like and follow and subscribe or whatever it is. You already know. If you think you're learning, leave your comments and share the video if you think. And if you want me to work on one part, it'll be great. So probably next time I'll finish this, or I'll jump into the home part of Instagram.